Rio, did you see much progress in this United side tonight from the side that played in Amorim's first game back in November where these teams drew 1-1?
No, I think if we're being brutally honest, there's not been the progress that we all anticipated. We have to understand where he came from and how successful he had been and the silver he had brought to Sporting Lisbon. The anticipation of him coming was like, wow, what an opportunity we've got now with this young manager who's been ultimately successful in his time there, and it hasn't transferred here. I actually sat with him the other day and he was like...
We'll get back to Rio in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And also, you know how this works. If you've got anything to say, if something's bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, then the comment section is for you. Please express yourself there, but please keep it civil. But the Big D reads all of the comments and he looks forward to reading what is on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, Rio Ferdinand is going to be giving his thoughts on the 3-2 victory that Manchester United had against Ipswich Town at Old Trafford in the Premier League. And there was a couple of notable incidents in there, particularly Onana's calamitous performance and also Dorgu's red card. Anyway, stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what Rio had to say and also the match itself. Here he is.
You can see there's a desire, you can see there's a work ethic behind the scenes, and he's nipping at everything to try to get this right and turn it around. But things haven't been smooth for him. And he hasn't managed to get it to where he wants to at this point in time. But I think he needs to just get to the end of the season and really regroup and then start building again and build the team and coaching the team, because right now they've been stuttering along, and that's probably being polite in the way I've said that. And they've just got to get to the end of the season.
Do you think it's the players? Do you think it's a couple of transfer windows you need?
Yeah.
Get to the end of the season, get some players in.
Yeah, the way that he wants to play, I watched Sporting Lisbon a few times in Europe especially. They were an athletic, dynamic team. That was one of the staples of their team. The hallmarks of that good team that was winning things. This team they're not a mobile, dynamic team. And if you look through the heartbeat of this team, they have other qualities, but being physical, having the ability to overrun teams physically, they don't have that capacity.
Zirkzee's not that up front, is he? Zirkzee's not that.
Maguire,
lacking a confidence.
It's not their game. So I think he needs to find those type of players with the capabilities of carrying out not only tactically what he wants, but the physicality is equally important.
Between now and then, though, he's got to get results, hasn't he? And in this game, they got off to the worst possible start. We spoke before the game about what he was. Morsley came back into the team, and he was a bit unlucky.
A lot of anxiety within a back line, and that's what you saw there. Great delivery, but also Zirkzee, his position at the front post, making it difficult to see.
Somebody that can deliver a ball like Bruno Fernandes. We saw it on several occasions here this evening. Anything is actually possible. Yeah,
it is, and again, I'm sure Ruben Amorim is frustrated in the fact that he has to play Bruno so deep in his team because he's so vital in terms of creativity. You want to get him closer to the opposition goal. He's playing very much deeper, still impacting the game, but he want to get people back to be able to fill that road in the middle of the pitch to push him further forward, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think the first half, if you look at Dorgu and Garnacho, first half for United, causing all sorts of problems down this left-hand side. So, unfortunate to get sent off and then taken off straight away, but, It
was very closely followed by a second goal, wasn't it, for Ipswich?
Talk about it a bit more. Puts the goalkeeper's eye line off.
It was a movement before that. It was a two yards. He took to the right first. He's gone in between them. He's took his yards off him, and then he's moved, and the lid's dropped in. And then it's just getting across the keeper's eye line, and he's unlucky not to get a touch. But Onana can't do much about it, and it's a great ball in because you see free kicks like that, balls in, as long as you're hitting the target or in between the sticks, you got a chance of going in.
What I would say, from a Man United defensive point of view, forget the ball in it, the people in the box as well. Get out to people, stop crosses. You're paid to do that. Sometimes a bit of intensity and desire to get out there and make it difficult for the man on the ball to put balls into your box where it's very dangerous.
Yeah, well, it was all square at half-time, albeit that Ipswich did have the one-player advantage. But what a reaction from Man United in the second half. Harry Maguire, we know what he's capable of at set pieces, and this header was, unstoppable.
Yeah, Harry's one of the best in the business routine.
United were also able to hold on to that lead for the duration of the second half, but it wasn't just about scoring goals as far as Harry Maguire was concerned, because we spoke about Delap, didn't didn't we, before the game? And these two players had a great tussle. You know, Delap trying to get the better of him, Maguire obviously tracking him every stretch of the way. Obviously well aware of the danger that he...
Is that experience, though? Is that experience? Because you're saying there, you'd go on the weaker, more inexperienced centre-back.
Yeah, I'll try them both.
Yeah.
I'll see who's the weakest and what the weakest at, and then I'll play on that.
Yeah, it's been a difficult time for Rúben Amorim, obviously. And yes, also, I agree with what Rio says. There was a lot of hope when Ruben Amorim came in. He was this new wonder kid manager that's young, fresh, dynamic and all of this, plays a certain kind of football and whatnot. But it's been calamitous so far. For one reason or another, well, it's not one reason or another, it's 10 reasons or 10 others, really, because he's had his issues with Marcus Rashford, he's had issues with injuries, he's had issues with not having a left back, he's had all kinds of issues, he's had the press on top of him, he's had terrible talking about this team's not dynamic enough, blah, 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 physicality, blah, 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 blah. But they mentioned Joshua Zirkzee's name there, as if he's not good enough. Joshua Zirkzee played well tonight. And Joshua Zirkzee, ever since he got booed out of Old Trafford, has been really good. He's improved game after game after game, and he's just getting better. And that lad has got a pass on him. He's creative, he's dynamic, and he's actually faster than what you think. I thought he was a little bit of a sluggish kind of Berbatov type of lazy player that just relies on, you know, a touch. Like, oh, I didn't realise he was that fast. And there was a couple of instances there where he was just a little bit unlucky with some of his killer passes. He's got a killer pass on him. He has. So I thought he played really well. And there was a moment there where they were making a substitution, United were, and we weren't sure who was coming off. And Dorgu was looking at the line and he was kind of like, who, me? Me? Really? And I was thinking that too. I was on his side on that front because, yeah, he seemed dynamic and he's a lot better than what people have initially thought he was. So, no, I'm sorry, but Zirkzee's been improving more and more the longer he's been at Manchester United. So, I think there's a player there. A useful player. I'm not necessarily saying he's going to be world class or he's going to be the next Ruud Gullit, for instance. You never know. You never know. Everyone thought Gareth Bale was crap when he was a left back. And then all of a sudden he turned out to be a world beater. Maybe the penny will drop with Zirkzee and he'll turn into the next great number 10. We shall see. But the point being, Joshua Zirkzee has dramatically improved. And let's hope that improvement compounds and skyrockets to the point where he's a genuine starter for Manchester United. But we'll see. Watch this space. Anyway, the match. I mean, let's get the bad incidents out of the way. I mean, Onana's rubbish. Do I need to elaborate any more? He's not at the level that Man United want or need. I don't want to say that. I genuinely don't want to say that. He seems like a lovely guy. And I hope he proves me wrong. I want him to prove me wrong. Andre Onana, please prove the big D wrong. But there's just too many calamitous mistakes, pal. Too many. You cost us progressing in the Champions League last year. There was this, and, you know, they all just kind of blur into one now, you know, and you didn't need to be where you were for that first goal. You just didn't need to be there, mate. You could have just stayed on your line. And Dorgu would have passed to you, no problem. But I'm not blaming Dorgu for that. He's a young lad. He's just signed for the club. You shouldn't have been there, mate. You should have been taking charge of that situation. I'll let you off the second goal, although I do feel you could have done better, but I will let you off. I feel as though that was Harry Maguire's fault. He was in the prime position to be able to do something with the second goal, but he didn't. And maybe even De Ligt as well, because he maybe should have been in front of the defender a little bit better. But yeah, all right, I'll let you off with that one, Onana, because you maybe saw it too late and whatnot, and it was far in the corner, blah blah blah. So fair enough. But that first goal, pal, should have done a lot better. Dorgu's red card, yeah, it was a red card. You can't be doing tackles like that. I don't think there was any malice in there. I 100% agree with Rio Ferdinand in his analysis, what we've just seen there. But it wasn't. It wasn't. There was no malice there. He wasn't trying to hurt him or anything like that. It was just one of them things. It was just an unfortunate accident. Yeah. It is what it is. He deserved it. He's walked. He's going to be banned for 3 games now, it looks like, which is not what we need because leading on to the positives, now that Patrick Dorgu signed, the team seems to be tactically balanced now. We've got someone bombing up and down the left wing, and he's got a pretty decent delivery on him. He's athletic. He can bomb up and down there for 90 minutes, no problem. He seems to have an engine like a Ferrari. He is. He's absolutely class. I've been really impressed with Patrick Dorgu so far. You know, he's not the perfect left back yet, but he's done really well. He's hit the ground running, and he provides a width and a balance tactically to this team that Rúben Amorim and this system that Rúben Amorim is trying to drill into this team. And I've said before, when you play 3-4-3, it hinges on the wing backs. If you've got the right wing backs in position, then that allows nice width, who can support the defence and can support the attack. Because all of a sudden, you can go to 5 at the back, to 5 up front, 5 at the back, 5 up front, and then you can defend and you can score at will. So, you know, the wing backs are key in 3-4-3. And that rhymed a little bit there, and that was unintentional. That was a happy accident from the big D. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that was a positive, and that's been a positive ever since Patrick Dorgu signed. And I don't know if it's a combination of that tactical balance, or if it's a combination of the tactical balance and the fact that we've been crap and Rúben Amorim's probably been digging into the players, but we seem to be up for it tonight. There was a lot of energy from start to finish, and I liked the positive attitude that Manchester United showed tonight. I really did. It was actually a good game. It should have been 3-0, really, because those 2 goals we shouldn't have conceded, and we scored some good goals there. I don't feel as though our goals were a fluke, really, because they happened when Man United were being proactive. And we forced the mistake for the first one. The second one, I thought was quite a good goal. I mean, their goalkeeper made 2 really good saves initially, but the pressure that we were putting on them, it was just inevitable that ball was going into the net. And Bruno Fernandes' set pieces tonight were absolutely world class. World class. Harry Maguire's header was class. I mean, we bought Harry Maguire when Ollie was manager. When we signed him to not only be a defender at the back, but also to be a threat in the air. But he didn't score a header for about 2 years. Now he seems to be class in the air. What's going on? He's woken up. His heading ability has woken up. But yeah. I think the result flatters Ipswich a little bit and doesn't do Manchester United justice. They were a bit downbeat, Rio Ferdinand, in this little clip, but I saw a different game. I saw a proactive, positive Manchester United that fought from start to finish. Now, we were playing a relegation zone Ipswich, fair enough, but we've played the same team at their place and drew, and they gave us a much harder game than what they did tonight. So that's a sign of improvement, if you ask me, and we got the 3 points, and that's what matters. I thought Lenny Yoro had a pretty decent game. Fair play to the lad. He's slowly improving. That's good. Ugarte, yeah, fine. Dalot, fine. Hoyland wasn't great again, unfortunately. Garnacho, Yeah, Garnacho, his attitude has improved dramatically over the past few weeks. So, tonight was just the same. And the only reason he went off was just a tactical substitution because Dorgu got sent off. I hope he wasn't too downhearted or downbeat on that front, because I don't think that was a reflection of his performance up until that point he was taken off, because he was there, he was getting stuck in, he was looking for opportunities, he was trying to create chances, and he was being a nuisance for their defenders, back four. Were they playing the back four? I can't remember. But for their defenders anyway. So, yeah, no, I was quite heartened by that game tonight, and I quite enjoyed it. Really. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It's such a shame, and it's frustrating that Dorgu's going to be suspended for 3 games. I'm pretty sure he's going to be suspended for 3 games. Was it a straight red? I'll have to double check that. The Big D's going to check that right now. Let me see. Yep, it was a straight red. And a straight red in the Premier League means that he is going to be suspended. Well, it says here that the severity of the ban is dependent on the severity in the Premier League. The severity of the offence determines the severity of the ban. However, serious foul play or violent conduct, and I think that's why he was sent off for serious foul play, a player is suspended for a minimum of 3 games. So he's probably looking like 3 games, because that's the bare minimum. And I don't think there was any nastiness or malice in that, but we shall soon see. But it looks like probably about 3 games, really. But that's so frustrating, because we're gonna go back to that inverted wing back rubbish, which just hasn't been working. But we'll see. But I mean, to be fair, the Premier League's finished now. We're not going to get relegated. We've just beaten Ipswich. We're safe. He's not going to be suspended for the Europa League or the cup competition. Well, he might be suspended for the domestic cup competitions, but he's not suspended for the Europa League, and we want a good run in the Europa League. But we shall soon see. Anyway, what do you guys think of tonight's game? Did the result flatter Ipswich? Do you agree with the Big D? Do you see a lot of positives in that? Or do you think the Big D's talking nonsense? Tell me in the comments. The Big D can take it. He doesn't have a glass chin. Not when it comes to verbal attacks anyway. But anyway, whatever you've got to say, put it in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.